Rock's Metal Hour. Laura Wilde.
Hey, there you are. How you doing?
Hey, I'm well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Let me get you set up here. Let me get my thing going here. There we go. Comes in there. Bang. All right. We're rocking. So how you doing? How you doing over there?
I'm very well. We've had a nice hot sunny day in LA, so it's one of the first days of spring, I think. So summers are coming along.
Yeah. Looks like you got a little studio going there.
Yeah, I do. I've got my little setup.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the same kind of thing over here. You know?
Your big stack.
Yeah, I got my stack back here and all my crap and, you know.
Very nice.
All the stuff.
That's a few faces.
Oh, heck yeah. I've got a mess.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, at least we can hide it over Skype.
Yeah. And it works that way. And it does work that way, actually.
Yeah, exactly. I've got all the mess pushed to that side of the room.
Oh, do you? Yeah, mine's over here.
I wasn't supposed to say that, but
yeah, mine's over on this side. This side is all electric all the way around. That side is all just garbage.
Well, I never know. It looks very tidy and orderly from this angle.
Yeah,
from where I'm standing.
That's because I put the cam there.
Yeah, thinking.
So hey, what did you end up doing when you were actually born and raised over in Australia?
I was. I've only been in LA for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that when did you start actually getting into it? When did you know you were actually going to start doing this for a living?
Well, I'd been obsessed with guitars for my entire life, but I guess it became a real career possibility when I was about 16. I snuck out to a local pub with my friends, and the band that was playing was a cover band, and they had some issues with their bass player, so they sort of boycotted the whole show. And then one of my friends was talking to the lead singer and said, "Oh, hey, she knows how to play bass. Why don't you get her up for a couple of songs?" And then I ended up playing, and everyone was going mental, and I thought, hey, this could be more than just a hobby. That was where it all started.
And then you ended up, did you put a band together there, or are these the same guys that you were with there, or have you?
No, I actually never saw those guys again, but I was putting bands together at school. I went to an all-girls school, but no one was really that interested. No one wanted to give up lunch times to practice. You know, they all wanted to sit around and gas bag about whatever. I was in a cover band with some of the teachers, which was good fun.
Uh-huh.
So performance of assemblies and stuff. But yeah, no, it was, I mean, you got to start somewhere, and it was all good. I just like to play.
Well, yeah, you do actually got to start someplace, you know. But, you know, it all comes natural anyway. Because once you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, once you're in, you're going to go that route anyway. So, you know, how did you figure out when you were going to move over? I mean, what made the big plan that you were just going to, hey, we're going to go to the USA, you know?
Well, I came over here for about 3 months in September 2009, and my manager at the time had set up a bunch of meetings, and so I got a really positive response with those meetings, and everyone basically said, if you don't move over here, it's out of sight, out of mind, so everyone's just going to pretty much forget about you, and you'll lose all of that momentum that you built up over the last 3 months. So, yeah, I went back to Melbourne, and it's just like, well, the rock scene's kind of dying here, so I might as well just pack up and head off and see how it goes. And if I fail, then I'll know that I gave it a really good shot.
And I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to do all right.
Huh.
You know, I think, you know, you went to the perfect place. It's either one side of the United States or it's the other side. You know,
exactly, yeah.
It's like New York or it's over L.A. And L.A.'s got a lot more, I think, to offer, I think, than New York's a little bit more clickier.
Yeah, exactly. And whereas LA's got the Sunset Strip.
So then, yeah, the sun. I don't know. My sister lives over there, but I don't know. I kind of like it in the middle. So I can either go that way, that way.
Oh, that's very convenient. You can just meet people halfway.
Yeah, because I'm right smack in the middle, so I can go
Yeah,
either which way. It's the same amount of miles, you know.
It's good.
Did you end up writing all this stuff? Did you end up writing most of the songs, or was it kind of a team effort?
On Sold My Soul, I wrote. It was pretty much about half and half. Half co-writes with other people, collaborations, and then the other half I wrote just by myself.
Oh, so then it's kind of everybody's kind of getting in there and kind of jolting it around a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there were no songs on it that were written by other people. I either collaborated with someone else or wrote it myself. And with Sold My Soul, the title track,
Yep.
I actually wrote and produced that myself and played all the instruments.
Oh, did you really?
That song was... Pardon?
And you did that to get everybody else in line at the same time? That's kind of how you came up with that whole thing? You just did it at home type thing?
Well, it's just, that song was pretty much just my baby. It was just, that was how I wanted to sound. It was, this is me. This is it.
Yeah.
You know, that's totally me without any influence from other people.
And where did the station wagon come from?
We actually found that at, I forget what it was called. It's not Rent-A-Wreck. Oh, is it Rent-A-Wreck? Yeah, I think it was Rent-A-Wreck. Rent-A-Wreck, yeah. It was kind of like a beacon of light. We were walking up to this parking lot with all these old beaten up cars. It's just like, oh, just got sucked into this car. And it was in mint condition. It didn't have a scratch or a dent on it or much wear and tear. I think the only thing that was wrong with it was that the trunk wouldn't open. So we had to make some video adjustments because there was supposed to be a scene where the band throws all of our stuff into the trunk, but then it wouldn't open. So it was like, oh, no, do we put it in through the back window? And that's clumsy and that. But no, it was good. It was in pretty good nick. It was actually a dream to drive as well. It was so smooth. You know, they don't make them like they used to.
No, they don't. I seen the car and I'm like, wow, it's been a long time since I've seen one of those.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that is really cool. You know, that it fits in with everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so
it's kind of funny on the scenes where we're driving on the freeway. There's that car that's all old and cool with the 70s sort of effect, and then every other car on the freeways from around 2011. It's just like that.
Yeah, if you look on there too, you can see the people looking at it. You know. No,
you know,
because you don't see that very often. You don't see an old car like that, you know. And I thought it was awesome. Like, wow, that is really cool. That's awesome. You come up with that.
Right.
And they had what else do we got here? We've got, you know, when you ended up doing the recordings, did you guys all do this at one shot? Did you all just go into this place and just do all this, or did you have to do it separately?
The album was recorded over about 4 years. The first song, which was All Alone, was written when I was 17 and recorded when I was 18. But I mean, it's taken that amount of time to get everything together and just do it and put it out there, because you speak to this person and they have that view, and then you speak to this other person, they think you should do it a different way. Whereas I just sort of thought, nah, this is it, putting it out, bang. So yeah, everyone seems to enjoy it, so I'm very happy with the result.
Heck yeah. I mean, there's a lot of ways that, you know, some people do it over the net. I've seen people send tracks back and forth, and they do this, and then like Def Leppard. Def Leppard was a good example of that. Everything was done over one at a time, one person at a time, and they never even met until they actually had a show.
Oh wow! Yeah, I played all of the instruments on it because I didn't have a band yet, so I had to pretty much do everything just by myself. And then, I didn't find the band that I'm playing with now until about September last year, and they're the guys that are in the video.
And that's kind of what you're hanging with now. That's kind of where you're at for now. Yeah,
they're great guys. So.
And they count right on, and they picked it right up, and.
Yeah, no, they've learnt this stuff. Normally, it's hard to find band members because no one actually wants to learn the songs. They just want to shred all over it.
Yeah.
Put in these riffs that aren't in the song, so it ends up being sort of a soup of nothing because everyone's trying to show off to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're great guys.
Yeah,
and they're all fantastic players as well, and really bring something to the stage show. So it's great. It's all working out really well.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things is finding the right people. You know.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the most difficult, because after you get that, then you get all the heads going at each other, and it can be really.
Yeah, and there's no prima donnas in this band. They've all got great temperament, so it's conducive to being out on the road. We all just sort of sit and settle down. There's no one fighting or anything.
So are you thinking about, how far are you going to actually go on the road? I mean, you're trying to go as far as you can? You're going to go ahead and push this and try to book everywhere and do everything?
Well, we've just landed the tour with Ted Nugent, and he's going out for about 30 dates from, I think, July to August.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to go as far as we can. National tour. Hopefully, the people of America like the show.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And especially Ted is a good one to go with, too. Ted is really a good one.
Yeah, definitely. He's got the tough crowd,
Yes, he does. And he knows the ropes. He does know the ropes.
Definitely.
He does know the ropes.
He's a pro.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. He really is. There's a couple different sides to Ted. He's quite a character. He's one of my favorites, too. I grew up with him around and stuff, so it's kind of... So, hey, did you still ever keep that little toy that you had when you were...
It's actually at my little cousin's house back in Australia, and I should have brought it over here. I really regret not bringing it, but I just go to their house and see it, and it's like, wow, that's where it all began.
Yeah, and I thought... I read that on the website, which, it is your website, www.laurawilde.com.
Yeah, that's it.
We got to put that in there.
You got that one.
And I was reading that whole thing, and I thought that was kind of decent, because that kind of happened here, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah, it was a blanket, though. It was a blanket with a guitar on it.
Ah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
Did you play blanket guitar?
Oh, for years. Yeah, because Dad glued his guitars on the wall until we could learn to appreciate him. He wouldn't take them off the wall and give them to us when we were kids. So,
at least you could look at them. See, I had a guitar-free household. I was barely allowed to look in guitar shops. So that was a very rare and special occasion when I was allowed to go into a music shop and appreciate the guitars on the wall. Because the people working there certainly didn't want some greasy little kid, paw printing them with their dirty hands.
Yeah, and... That was my dad for sure there. He was up high enough where we couldn't reach him. Yeah.
Did you ever manage to get your hands on any of them?
On all of them.
Oh, really? Nice.
All
bit
of
of a
them.
bit of a rebel in the making, huh?
Yeah. Well, it was me and my brother too. We were both in the same room, and we were both into that.
So lift them up on the shoulders.
Yeah.
And the other one grabbing the guitar.
Yeah, you bet. We piled everything up that we could, and we'd play that.
That's awesome.
And then as soon as Dad started hearing something come out of it while they're stuck on the wall, because we were doing this,
Yeah.
And
Sing what's down the strings with me.
Yep. And then it says, "You will sit here and play this guitar from 3:30 until 5 while we run the bar downstairs. Deal?"
Yeah,
so
that's a pretty good punishment.
Yeah. So that's what we ended up doing. That's kind of how we ended up doing what we were doing. Hey, these magazines. How did you get into that? Did you actually do some modeling before this, or did that just kind of come in with the whole thing?
I it kind of came with the whole thing, I guess.
It just kind of gets in there, and gets.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's all show business, so it all gets mixed in with each other.
Yeah.
But music's the primary focus.
Yeah, and you got some really cool pictures on there. You got all kinds of stuff, and you got I read about this guy you gave a camera to.
Oh yeah, Calvin. He used to do all my live shots from my first show up until my last one in Australia. So he pretty much followed us to every show, and he was a really great kid.
And he had some pretty good pictures he was taking, so he was getting some stuff out of that, huh?
Yeah. He took that. Have you seen that one where I'm sort of throwing my head forward and my hair's like a big crazy woof?
Yeah.
Yeah, he took that one, which was pretty much my most used photo.
Really, that is an awesome catch. It was perfect.
It was
Yeah,
it was good. It was sort of like a pay it forward kind of thing where he took that photo from the camera, so it was good, felt good.
Awesome. So while you were putting this stuff together and stuff, who were you listening to? What kind of inspirations did you get to kind of, follow through? Did you have any inspirations of any kind of bands or anything?
Yeah, definitely. I started out listening to 90s grunge rock when I was a kid, so Nirvana, Green Day, Foo Fighters sort of stuff. But then as I grew older, I started delving more into who their influences were. So just going back decade by decade to 80s, 70s, 60s and whatever, dating all the way back to Elvis. So yeah, I love bands like ZZ Top, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, and then punk bands like The Clash, Sex Pistols, Ramones, and glam rock's a big influence, like Gary Glitter, Slade, and T-Rex. So I love all forms of rock. It's just how I roll.
Yeah, it's kind of because it's for them are in my age thing, all those different bands, so that's kind of the fascinating thing is the age that you're getting into all this at is just fantastic, and plus the variety of the style of the music and everything combined and everything listened to, it's totally different than the average, I guess, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I like to be a bit different, but I mean, hopefully I can give to kids nowadays what those rock and rollers gave to us when we were kids, because I've noticed that there aren't really many rock people out now. Yeah. Kids are listening to more dance music and hip hop, so hopefully they can, expand to other genres as well.
I can't do the hip hop. I can't.
I'm not really.
No,
that kind of gal.
Each to their own, I guess.
Each to their own. I can appreciate all music for what it is, but right. I mean, I wouldn't put on a hip hop CD. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, me too. I got a keyboard.
Yeah. Beats. You can pump it out of the studio.
And then I got a pen and a paper. I can keep writing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So that's how that all comes out. But I never.
Beatboxing on that microphone.
Do what's that?
Some beatboxing.
Oh, I'm surprised that thing still works, to be honest with you. As many times as it's bit the floor over here.
Oh, really?
Have you ever noticed on a mic stand, you can't get a mic stand that holds one of these?
Yeah, no. I've tripped over my microphone that many times. I'm surprised it still works.
Yeah, if I turn it this direction, it'll hit the floor.
Oh, well, sit still. Keep calm.
I've got to get one of those weights, because they got weights for the bottoms of them,
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have to put one of those up too.
Yeah, those little sand things that you put around your ankles for walking.
Yeah. Like for umbrellas and stuff outside.
Yeah, yeah. That's what you throw on them. You throw them on there, and then they don't tip over so easy. And that's something I haven't done. I haven't done it yet. I can talk about it, but I haven't done it yet.
Well, let me know when you do. Let me know if it's a solution to the problem.
I don't know if that is a solution to the problem. I should bolt it to the ceiling or something.
Yeah, you'll probably just end up with all these extra bags of sand.
Yeah.
For nothing. Just hanging out in the studio, taking up space.
Yeah, pretty much. And it does take up enough space, I always wanted, the one that's really huge, that sits in the corner room and it's got the boom that comes way down.
Oh, yeah.
That goes from one end of the room to the other, so I can bring it to the chair, bring it over here when I'm doing other things, but I haven't got that yet.
Like the fancy schmancy stuff.
Yeah, I like to be different on my stuff. I don't like the average thing. I want everything to be different.
Yeah. So, I know that feeling.
Yeah. So you went into I have this really hunch that you're getting into the Gibson.
Yes, I actually used to work at the primary Gibson dealership in Australia. So they taught me everything I know about guitars. And yeah, if you look behind me, I've got three Gibsons there. They're my two Flying Vs. And that's a Gibson Clapton Cut Explorer. So they only made 50 of them in the world. And I got my hands on one.
You lucky, lucky.
Oh, yeah. And then I've got my Gibson J165 acoustic.
So you like...
So I'm a bit of a Gibson gal.
You are. And that's your basic ride is the Gibson, right? That's the basic thing.
Pardon?
The basic one you have is a Gibson. I mean, that's where you like to be.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's my that's the one that I use live. That sort of mirror reflective one, which is the Gibson New Century Flying V. But they discontinued that model, and the Gibson factory in Nashville flooded, so they don't have any of the hardware. So it's kind of falling apart. Like the mirror's all cracked and the back's all scratched and worn from my belt buckle.
Yeah.
So I can't order any of the parts. So just have to.
I've got mine the same way. They're very, very old. They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
And you know, I have the problem with the strap screw.
Yeah. I've got the worst problem with the input jack because I always step on it and it pulls the input jack down. So it does that crackling thing and I have to get it fixed all the time.
Yep.
It's me being
Yep.
me being a careless fool.
Well, you know, you're having fun, you know. So I've tried all the wireless crap and all the, you know.
I'm still to venture into that world, the world of wireless.
Yes, it's nice.
Yeah.
It is very nice.
I've seen people use it and they just spin around and jump around. It's like being unchained from cords.
It is. It's nice being unchained from cords. The only thing that I don't like about it is the length of the battery.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
it doesn't last long?
Well, you can get 4 hours out of it. But, you know, that's basically what I've seen is 4 hours is basically a good strong signal to where it sounds good. But then if it messes up and you have to plug back in again, then you'll find yourself pulling the cord out all the time.
No, it defeats the purpose. Then you have to go crawling back to the cord.
You got people running around you trying to plug you back in, you know, while you play air guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Hoping somebody else in the band is covering you.
Yeah, definitely. That actually reminds me of one of my worst war stories on stage was I had this bit in a song where it was just me playing and singing at the same time. And it was in the first song and my guitar had actually come unplugged and I had to sing a cappella and the guitarist was playing the wrong chords because he didn't learn what I was playing. So he was just trying to wing it. And he was playing the wrong chords so my pitch was like, "Ugh," and it was just like, oh no. Everyone in the audience was like, what is this song? It sounds... kind of, but you know, no one understands, no one cares. There's no time for excuses.
No, there isn't. But you know, when everybody knows it, it feels bad. But you know what? The audience really doesn't care.
Yeah,
you know, they're there for that. You know, a lot of them are because you know they find it to be just as humorous. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you know you can't be perfect all the time. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and they get a kick out of that because that's different.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I
meant it to be that way.
Yeah, I that's just how I classified it over the years. It's different.
Yeah, it's part of the live show experience.
Yeah, pretty much, and you get that in live show experiences. You know, you get from electric outlets to lightning to to whatever. And if you were going to actually, well, you're already going to be running with Ted here. If you really wanted to get up and do something with a band, what would be your choice?
If I was just to jump up with a random band and have a little jam-ski.
Well, if you know, it's an honor to be on the same stage as Ted, by the way.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is. There's
It's
no
an
doubt
honor
about
and a
that.
privilege.
You know, for him.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Jimi Hendrix. So maybe one of his songs, maybe like an All Along the Watchtower or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe a Johnny Be Good. I've actually become quite partial to the My Sharona solo.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good one to play.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a picking maze. It's just like, oh my god, the picking pattern's way harder than anything on the neck. Yeah, I don't know. I've played a whole lot of Love. I played that a few weeks ago actually. Have you heard of the Sin City Sinners?
Yes, I have done some research on you. Yes, I did actually get to watch you do that one, and I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, I got my hands on some footage from that show, but I think whoever filmed it, the camera kept cutting out, so they only got some little snippets.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, that's better than nothing. But yeah, I love Jimmy Page as well. So yeah, any Zeppelin or Hendrix or anything like that, they're my faves.
Yeah, and Jimmy Page is still making appearances, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure how recent it was, but the Foo Fighters were doing a concert at Wembley Stadium, and Jimmy Page got up and played guitar, and Taylor Hawkins got off the drums, and Dave Grohl sat and played drums, and Taylor Hawkins sang, and they did rock and roll with Jimmy Page playing the guitar.
Yep, I saw that whole series. I saw that whole thing. That was excellent, and it was good.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Taylor Hawkins sings.
Yeah.
He's a great singer.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. It's fantastic.
Very talented of men. Very nice.
So what do you know, this one song that you've got, Sold My Soul, how, you know, explain that, and we'll give the viewers a shot of that. We'll give them a listen.
Sold My Soul was written it was actually about this time last year when I just got back from Texas. And it was a bit of a touring wish list, all the places I'd like to visit when I go on tour, and a celebration of coming to America. So yeah, I played everything on that. I produced it myself. And I actually directed and edited the video. So it was all me. I was like, this is my baby and no one's coming near it. And yeah, no, it was good fun all round.
And that was it basically speaks for itself, right? Basically, for the most part, it sold my soul for rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've had to make sacrifices to you know, get where I am today, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it's been a hell of a ride and lots of fun doing it, so I wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly. So why don't we give the viewers a shot of this? You wanna give the viewers a shot of this tune?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's see here. Let me pull this up here, and I can slap it right in.
Lovely.
Don't know where I go.
There you go. Laura Wilde, Sold My Soul. That's it. That was the tune.
Yes.
So how did that? You also got that. And how many songs were actually on the album?
I think it's got 12 tracks on it.
And I took 3 of those because we want to leave the rest of them in mystery.
Yes, you'll just have to check out the album to reveal the mystery.
Yep. So that's what you have to do these days. You can't give everybody everything.
Yes.
And that's kind of because the YouTube and all that other crazy stuff that goes with it. So it's it's kind of different.
Yeah.
So how about the next? Are you thinking about another album? Are you going to run this one for a while?
I've actually pretty much written enough material for another album, but I've just got to select out which tracks I want to produce up and put on the track listing. So yeah, we've definitely got more stuff in the pipeline.
Awesome. And is that? Are you going to give us a hint? Is that going to be a? Is this going to be in the same thing, or is I'm really people always they really start getting into it after a while once you get all the members together and everything. I mean, is it gonna? Are we gonna keep going up and up and up and up and up? I think is what I'm thinking. I don't know. It's kind of a strange question, but
hopefully with baby steps, it grows and blossoms.
And it gets.
We just actually just got back from Texas again on Sunday night, and I checked out a studio, which I'm hoping to record the album there. It's just on this little ranch, and it's got this studio and a big trailer thing where you can stay. So it's got that Texas vibe. So hopefully we'll get some good southern rock and roll out there.
Heck yeah, that's the best way to do it too.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything works better when you're just in a relaxing place.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you always got to find something to get away from too, because sitting in the dungeon that I call it.
Exactly. Yeah, not much sunlight comes in this room actually. It is a bit of a dungeon.
Yeah, and I spend all my time here. I've got a whole nother piece of the house over here, but this is where I'm at. I'm always here. I don't know why that is. It's like one of the smaller rooms in the house.
Yeah, definitely. If I didn't have a clock in here, I would probably waste years and not know what time or day it was. I'd walk out and be an 80-year-old woman and be like, "Oh, everyone's gone."
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's great, I think. I think that it's really great that you've got, the energy to get out and do this and drive this and run it. And I think the more energy that you put in, the more you get out.
Yeah, definitely. That's my philosophy. So I'm giving it my best shot, and hopefully it rolls and grows, and yeah, everyone likes it.
Definitely. And we've got on Love Buyer. What was Love Buyer? Where did that come from?
That's actually, it's a bit of a social commentary about the double-edged sword of men with a financial advantage who exert power over women who chase money. So, yeah, it's just sort of a bit of a rat race sort of thing.
I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, especially living in LA, you see that a lot. I don't really tend to participate in it myself, but I can witness it a lot. I mean, even just going to a restaurant, it's like, yeah.
A lot of people write about that. A lot of people do.
Yeah. And well, I think it's definitely something a lot of people in the world can relate to, whether they do it or know someone who does it,
Yeah, definitely. I definitely know a lot about that.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of been down that road
a
few times, but maybe we should we give them a hit of that? Should we give them a hit of the Love Buyer and see what they think?
Yeah, let's give it a whirl.
Okay, all right. Okay. And that's what we're going to do. Laura Wilde. Here we go, Love Buyer.
To get your name and take your pride.
And there you go. Laura Wilde, Love Buyer. Now that is a cool tune. I like that tune too. I think that's just killer.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit of an oldie.
Is it? Is that one of an older one?
Yeah, that was I think that was the second track I ever recorded. So I was a bit of a newbie to the music world.
Yeah, but it rocks. It does rock. Everything I've seen that you've done is pretty good. Very good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You bet. So I think that might be I think you're going to have good luck. I really think you're going to have good luck.
Oh, thanks. I hope so. And I hope you do as well.
So how does how's the difference between being in the USA and being over in Australia? Is it like two different worlds?
It's very similar in some ways and it's very different in others. It's I guess in the music world there's only so many places you can go and so many people you can meet. It's very limited compared to the USA. There's definitely greater opportunities over here because there's dance world, the hip hop world, whereas in Australia there's kind of one thing at the time and that's all that people will follow. Whereas here the pool of opportunity is a lot greater.
Yeah, I've never seen the difference between the two because I never spent any time over there. But what I don't, one of the things I don't get is a lot of the bands now that are running, they're establishing in the United States, but the money is over there. How does that work?
I guess it's kind of weird. Like if the USA approves, then it's acceptable for them kind of thing. Like they sort of just follow along like, oh, okay, America thinks it's cool, therefore it's cool kind of thing. Whereas...
Oh, is that how that comes all out that way? I never put those two together, but I know a lot of the bands, they'll jump off over there and they'll do a whole wipeout of all that. And then they come back over here at the end, and then they go home. They hit a few places and go home, and then they fly back over there again. And
yeah, exactly.
Go
home superstars.
Yeah, because and I think the laws are different over there too, where you can have a huge show. And over here they try to limit everything, and try to control everything. Well, you can only have 30,000 people. Well, over there you can have 100,000 people and nobody says anything.
Yeah.
And I get some of the better rock shows I think are like over in Germany and places like that, I guess. I really don't know.
It's Europe generally.
Yeah, Europe. Europe's a good one.
I think Japan has a huge...
Yeah. Yeah, Japan. Yeah.
I'll have to go down to all these places and let you know.
Yeah. I hope you do. I really do hope you do. And I was wondering if that kind of behavior made you irate.
Yeah, totally irate.
Totally irate.
Yeah.
And I actually have that tune here, Irate, for you, which I only picked 3, and I wanted everybody to kind of see that. I didn't take the drum one though. I didn't take the drum one, and I probably could. And
the drum video.
Yeah, because when you were doing some drumming, because you're also quite a drummer.
Yeah, I try. Have you seen my drumming face? It's so embarrassing. I'm like, just like, no, why am I doing that face?
Yeah, but you're good at it, though. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I like to have a bit of a drum.
Well, I spent.
Relieving.
That's just so physical.
Yeah, so when I'm feeling a bit irate, I can just take it all out on the drums.
Yeah, there you go.
Society in general.
And I used to have a set here, and it worked out okay. But I don't like a small set. I like a huge set.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everything, 3 or 4 rows. Yeah.
The rack cymbals.
I want to be able to go all the way around a circle on my throne, and there should be something in front of me.
Are you like Garth off Wayne's World?
Yeah,
think? And then he's like,
Yeah, when I get on a roll, I don't want to stop. I just keep going right around a circle, and you can start from the top and go all the way around, kind of like a spiral.
oh yeah, definitely. It's hard to
yeah, and that
build the momentum.
yeah, that makes that entertains me. You know? But when I sit in front of like a 6-piece, I'm like.
Yeah, very limited. That's why I only got one. My kids only got one tom because I didn't want to get used to having lots of them in case I ever have to play on a kit with just one tom. So I was just like, oh, what do I do now? So I just get used to just the limited feel. But I always have 2 crashes.
Yeah, always.
Crash, yeah.
Always. I always like to have, a few of those around and this and that. I don't know, but I'm not really a drummer though, see.
Yeah.
And I
do
got
you like
that
splash.
Yeah. I got that disease from sitting behind a friend of mine's set, and it was just huge. It's like, wow.
Yeah. So you got spoiled.
Yeah, I got really spoiled, and after I walked off of that, I was never the same.
Yeah. You can't play on any kit. You have to play on the full fancy professional ones.
Yeah, it amused me, it made my blood pump. Just sitting down, my blood was starting to pump, and it's like, yeah, this is it. This is where I want to be,
Yeah.
And then after 10 minutes of that, I don't want to be here no more.
It tires you out. It's just like, wow.
I'll go back over here where I can just stand still and do this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you play too much and you get those horrible, full-on peeling, rancid calluses on your fingers.
I ripped one last night, and it really hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, I don't play as much as I used to anymore. But
awesome.
But when I'll take a month off, and then I'll come in here, and I'll pick it up, and I'll throw something in, and I'll just go at it like no tomorrow, and they're not ready.
Yeah. And then the next day, it's like your fingers have a hangover.
Yeah, they do.
From exercise.
You bet, and because they're just not used to it. You got to stay doing it all the time,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And you start getting into a hot place or something, and the lights and all hit you and everything, and then they really go.
Oh, yeah.
Then you better, you hope you have something there, or else it's really going to hurt. If they start stinging after the second set, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I always lose track of what's going on, and I always split my thumb open from going like that and just going on the strings. And so at gigs, there's blood all down my hand, and everyone thinks that I'm going to die. It's like, it's okay. It's a guitar injury.
I've never had one, but I had one come up and hit me in the lip. I had one come up and hit me. Yeah, it wasn't a good thing. It's probably, I shouldn't have been doing it with my teeth at the time.
That's never better.
You remember back in the days?
Like with my teeth, and then I kind of chipped them a little bit and put it down and did it again.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and it snapped. One of the strings snapped, and it caught my lip.
Oh, that's very painful.
Yes, it was very painful, but it was good because we had a Kiss song right after that, so it fit right in.
Yeah, nah. So you were like kissing the string when it like split your lip open.
Yeah, so we just went right into the Kiss song, and everything was good. I thought it was part of the show and everything.
Oh, that's great. No one noticed.
No one noticed. No one noticed but me. And everybody else was going, what is he doing? Yeah, just one of those crazy things that happen, you're trying to hide.
Yeah.
And plus, what do you do with a guitar with a broken string on it when you're on stage? I mean, you can try to steal it, but it never really works,
It just feels weird.
Yeah, it's just totally weird. You're just totally out of place, and you're looking for a place to...
Now I know why people break guitars.
Have you ever broke any? You ever threw any? I've seen you throw one. I've seen one being thrown on video.
I didn't throw it, though. The bass player threw it.
The funniest thing about that was the expression on your face when it landed.
Yeah, because he threw a guitar like 30 feet in the air. I don't really, although it's in the video, I don't personally approve of breaking guitars. Because when I was little and no one would ever, let me play them or touch them, I'd see people breaking the guitars, and I'd think, hey, I could have had that one. It used to upset me terribly. But, you know, when I see guitars being broken, it's like I could have taken that and put it somewhere in my little guitar room.
Yeah, I agree. I took one and I broke it in 3 pieces and handed it out at a party one night. And it still bothers me to this day that I broke it because it was a good one. You know,
what kind of guitar was it?
it was what the heck was it? I think it was a Fender. I think it was a Stratocaster. I think it was one of the first ones that came out with.
Sacrilegious.
Yeah,
Sacrilege.
I was a little frustrated too because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. You know, I wasn't playing as well as I used to, and I wasn't working at it that hard either. And I just kind of got frustrated, and it was the end of the night, and I broke it up and gave it. And you know what? The people I gave it to still have it to this day. They still have the pieces.
You're not going to try and take them back?
Nah. No, because that brings... You know how musical instruments... I don't know if you're this way, but, you know, I can't play somebody else's musical instrument. It's got to be right, brand new out of the box, and then it gets my feeling into it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, you know, if somebody comes over and touches my guitar, when I pick up that guitar, I can feel that. It's a weird thing for me. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I've got... If I use a different strap even, it feels different and weird, and I don't like playing it. If I play that other Flying V compared to that one, I get very upset. I definitely don't like change in that department.
I just don't like anybody touching my guitar.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing worse than when people come into this room and pick up guitars and touch them. It's just like, no, put it down.
Yeah, because, you know, it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
It's very personal to me, you know. I kind of, yeah. Because then I get their vibe. When I pick it up, I can feel their vibe, and I don't want that, you know, because I'm trying to do...
Exactly.
I'm focusing on music, not... What did this dude do?
Yeah, exactly. No, you can definitely feel it. It's like, nah. It's a no-no.
Yeah, it's definitely a no-no. You know, but my psychologist argues with me, but whatever.
Well, I understand.
Well, it's good you do, because he sure the heck don't.
Yeah.
All right.
He's obviously not a musician.
And that made me very irate. So what do you say we give him a shot of Irate? Should we give him a shot of Irate?
Let's do it.
Sometimes I wanna be alone, and so I'll do
there you go. That's Laura Wilde. Irate is the name of that one. Killer
Yes,
tune.
it's a very angry song.
Yes, an angry song. That's a good tune, though. All of them are good. All your stuff is good. So I think so anyway.
Oh, thanks.
I think they are. And I'm thinking, hey, you know, that with, you know, the music today and everything that's going, you know, it is pretty tough out there, isn't it? It can be.
Yeah.
It can be pretty rough.
Definitely, especially with, you know, not that I knew how it was back in the old days, because I've only ever worked in this musical climate, but everyone tells me it was a lot better back then, so I guess I was just born in the wrong time.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. You got to make the, you know, I think the time is right, but I think the whole thing is kind of stuck in a rut. You know,
yeah.
You know, I think, you know, that there's got to be, you know, I think a lot when the music changed over from using instruments to, you know, doing the newer ways stuff that most people are listening to, I think a large piece of the music was lost.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Also, yeah, I guess the use of social media's kind of changed everything as well. I always wonder what Jimi Hendrix would tweet or Cobain, what they would say if he'd have his mobile and be like, in the studio.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of takes away the cool and mystique of.
Yes, I think it really does. You know, you know, but then, you know, look at the advantage we've got. You know, as far as having the net now, and we're having all these cool things, and
you know, I'm talking to you on Skype right now, so
yeah,
I shouldn't rag it too much.
Probably one of the easiest interviews.
Tomorrow I'll be complaining.
Probably one of the easiest interviews we've ever done. You know, you can actually do it right in your own home, and
yeah, it's fabulous. And it's easier than being on the phone, because on the phone you can't see facial expressions,
right?
So you don't know if someone's joking or being serious, and then
right.
You can get into a bit of a pickle.
You know, and that's kind of why I wanted to get it all. You know, so it works like that. 'Cause I've got one of those too right here, one of those freaking phone things.
Ah.
That's all computerized, but I never use it. You know,
my phone's a lot daggier than yours. I've got this this cream number right here.
Oh, do you? I think I got you beat though.
Oh, that's very fancy. Actually, I'll grab something right now. It's not plugged in, but someday I dream of plugging it in. It's a lips.
Oh, that is cool.
See that? Yeah?
Yeah, that's totally cool.
What would you do if these were my lips?
That is totally cool. Yeah, you beat me on that one, didn't you?
Yeah, there you go. You don't have a phone until you have a lips phone.
But now you got to get remote control everything. See?
What's that? Fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
Ah, is that a car key?
You see my light come on in the back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
It's all off a remote. It turns on all the amps, all the effects. It turns the whole room on. And I've got several of them for each section. One for the computer, one for the sound system, one for the amps. And they're all remote control. I love remote control. Don't ask me why.
You just shamed me and shown me up. I thought I was all cool for a minute with my lips phone, and then you just wiped the floor with me.
You know, and I don't know why I did that. I just went to the store one day and decided I was going to remote everything.
Oh, the convenience factor is unbelievable.
Hard on the equipment, though.
Really?
Power surge. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, the amps don't like it. Everything else is okay with it, but the amp itself back there doesn't like it. It howls at me every time I do it.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Amps are very temperamental at times.
Yeah, especially when they go out the second story window and...
Especially at times like that.
Yeah, that's when the new one comes in. Yeah, that happens every now and then.
Oh.
You know, because they get all dirty and stuff, you know, because they collect dust so bad. You know?
Yeah.
And you got a Marshall back there, too, so you like Marshalls, too, for...
I actually have two Marshalls. I've got my Marshall stack back there, which has got a JCM 2000 head and a 1960 vintage cab. So that's it's quite nice. But I had to get a new one. I've got this 2x12 JCM 800.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it was made in 1986 or something. So that one's my Americano amp.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot more convenient to drag around than the 4x12 one. That's just a nightmare.
Exactly.
Most venues have stairs, lots and lots of stairs, so it's just like, no. I mean, I don't carry it myself, but I feel very sorry for the people that do.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way with mine. Mine's just, I hate hauling it anywhere. You know, I really do, because it's just so much, you know. You can only
I imagine.
Yeah, and then everything else, you know, it's kind of like feeling like you're a roadie. You know, by the time you get to the show and you get everything set up, you're ready to go home. You know, because you're tired from doing all that.
Exactly. No, the worst is when they, at a show recently, they made us do a sound check, and we were about to go on stage in about half an hour, and then the headlining band made us take all our gear off the stage, and then they did a quick line check, and then they made us put our stuff back on. It's just like, why couldn't we have just gone on straight after?
Yeah.
I think they were just, you know, giving us crap because we were the supporting band.
Yeah, you know, and that's a lot of work, and it's a lot of headache, especially if you have a lot of equipment.
Oh, yeah, and we taped all our stuff to the floor and got it all set up and ready, and I'd adjusted my mic to the right length and everything. Nah, didn't matter.
Yeah.
Got back and it was all out of whack and horrible.
Yep, and then you feel comfortable, and then you got to tear it off, put it back on, and then when you start up, you feel like you're half sideways. It's just...
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, and you're out of place.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
there's nothing worse than when the microphone's kind of up a little bit, so you're singing like this. Just wrong, just horrible.
Yeah, you know, and they you know, they don't give you time.
No.
You know, they never give you any time to do that kind of stuff, and I always hated being rushed. I hate being rushed.
Yeah, it's terrible, especially when you have to set up gear, because, you know, if something's not right, then it can stuff up the whole show.
Yeah, and it does, and it takes the whole pull out of the whole show. Yeah, it usually does, because everybody's looking over there, you know.
Exactly. It's like, what's this guy doing?
You know, what's going on with that? It can be really annoying.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I see a lot of bands do that from time to time. That happens, you know, when they throw everything up there, and then you all get up there and you hit it, and it's like, wait a minute, this ain't right.
Yeah.
You know, and they got people running all over the place, you know, trying to figure it out, and they're all, you know, it just, I hate doing that, you know, but that's part of the biz, though, you know, that's part of the biz.
It is. It certainly is part of the biz.
Yeah. But anyway, I figured this was a great interview with you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you betcha. And maybe again in the future, when you get things up and moving again, don't forget.
Hey, no way. I couldn't forget.
Yep, that rock is still sitting here yet. And I do.
I'll get my first Skype interview.
Yeah, your first Skype interview. Well, you know, I figured, you know, this is kind of the new way, you know. It's kind of the new thing.
It. Yeah. Definitely.
You know,
despite all my complaints about technology, this is definitely a good way of doing things.
Yeah, it is. And it's just as effective as, you know, it didn't cost a plane ticket to fly all the way up here and do this and do that, but, you know.
It's lovely.
And there's a lot of stuff in Minnesota if you want to come up here. There's a lot of things up here for you.
Well, you mentioned Minnesota in Solve My Soul, so...
Yes, you did.
I'll definitely have to come and visit you there.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of music going on up here, and quite a bit of stuff happening up here.
Oh, cool. I'll definitely have to get over there sometime soon.
Yeah, this has got and a lot of places to play, and a lot of people that'll do things here and there and whatever. So, you know, if you know you're coming up, you know, talk to your manager and stuff, and see what he says, and you know, and if he isn't sure, then I can hook you up with a few people that'll send some stuff to him and get you all figured out.
Great. Well, definitely keep in touch, and I'll hopefully speak to you soon again.
You betcha. And
I hope you have a great weekend.
Yes, you too. And thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
And rock on.
Rock on.